background sa ating guest speaker ngayong araw.
Good morning, everyone. So it is my pleasure to introduce to you our guest and resource speaker for this timely, relevant, and significant seminar for our employees. So our resource speaker is a rhinoplasty facial surgeon and a specialist on the diseases of ears, nose, throat, head, and neck surgery. In addition, she is a health and wellness advocate and root cause medicine practitioner, mostly focusing on low-carb nutrition and therapeutic fasting, also known as the Diet Doctora. So without further ado, please help me welcome our guest and resource speaker for today's seminar, Dr. Josephine Grace Rojo Tan.
Hello, good morning. Kasabot na Bisaya? Okay na Bisaya, Tagalog? Ay, sa Tagalog na yung Tagalog? Okay, but I think kaya na Bisaya, Tagalog. So good morning everyone. It is such a pleasure to be here. Sa mga wala kailan ako, my name is Dr. Josephine Grace Rojo, recently married, now tan. So ang ating topic for today, health and total wellness, health for the future. I know, daghan na naka-attend o mga health lectures. Kinsa na naka-attend o mga health lectures. Kung naano hindi ka nag-good sa Department of Health, sa City Health, I'm sure, dugay na balik-balik. We always hear. Marami na tayong narinig na mga tips and tricks on how to be healthy. And if you've been following those, kung sinusunod nyo na yun, but still, yung mga maintenance medications, nandiyan pa din. Yung uric acid, tumataas na din. Yung blood pressure, yung creatinine, yung blood sugar, ay hindi pa rin bumababa. Then maybe something is wrong. So those are the things na hopefully at the end of this lecture, kahit pa kakain pa rin tayo ng hinanda ng ating host, so I hope there will be some awareness na you can try to imagine at malalaman natin why all of those na mga pinaniwalaan natin healthy habits ay bakit hindi ganun ka-effective. Moving forward, I would like to introduce a little about myself. So again, that is me, and by profession, I'm actually trained as a plastic surgeon. So I'm a plastic surgeon, but on the side, I also do advocacy on health and wellness. So moving forward, please. So that's one of my surgeries, and another, and I also wrote books. So way back 2019, I wrote 3 books. Tatlong grupo yung pinablish natin. Perfect at Last Weight, for weight loss. Perfect Last Health, Eat to Heal, paano kumain na tayo ay gumagaling. And of course, Perfect at Last Wellness, mostly for mental health and stresses. And in social media, I am known as Diet Doctora. Currently have 933,000 followers. So for those of you na hindi pa po ako kilala, I'm mostly there. So, but I'm also known as the founder of 2 major nutrition in Facebook groups, known as Low-carb Feasting and Fasting Community, more than 300,000 members, and Life Without Rice, na ngayon ay nasa 450,000 na. Ngayon naman kayo nakarinig ng Life Without Rice, paano mabuhay ng walang kanin? Parang imposible, no? Sino na dito ang nabuhay ng isang araw na walang kinain kanin? Kaya ba? Hindi kaya? Kaya! I know, meron na sa inyong mga low-carbers dito. So, as a disclaimer, I don't have any financial obligation to disclose. And ito yung ating outline for our topic for today. So, moving forward, unahin muna natin yung anim na most common misconception. If isa kayo sa mga naniwala sa anim na ito, and you've been following that misconception, pero yun nga, nakikita natin na parang hindi pa rin ako nagiging healthy. Every year, nadadagdagan yung aking gamot. Every year, mas dumadami yung mga ininom na mga supplements, kung ano-ano na lang yung ininom natin magbibenta. right outside sa mga shops, pero hindi pa rin tayo nag-improve, then maybe it's because naniniwala tayo sa mga healthy beliefs na ito na hindi naman talaga ganun ka-healthy. So number 1, dapat daw yung breakfast early morning, before 10 a.m. at dapat may kanin. Di ba yun yung nakasanayan natin? Tama? Tama. And then moving forward, fruit is the healthiest food, especially here in Mindanao. Di ba? Sobrang daming prutas dito. I think lahat ng bahay dito ay merong fruit bearing tree. Or merong mga neighbors na nagbibigay lang ng fruits. Fruit is very cheap in Mindanao. And also, yung standard natin sa fruit, ano yung standard sa high quality fruit? Dapat matamis. Kung hindi matamis, hindi masarap. Tama? So, we are always thinking na eating fruit is the healthiest. In fact, it's already a given na ever since I went to Mindanao, given na yan, right after meal, merong mga prutas. Whatever fruit is in season. Next would be, we have to avoid salt. So, sino na dito kumakain na hindi na naglalagay ng asin? Hindi na kumakain yan, hindi na naglalagay ng asin si sir. Marami na actually ang nag-avoid ng asin para daw bumaba yung blood pressure. Pero, kamusta ang blood pressure? Mataas pa din. Then maybe, baka hindi talaga yung asin yung may kasalanan. Those are the things that we will tackle today. Rice and other starch, tulad ng tinapay, noodles, pasta, kailangan daw araw-araw. Yung definition natin kung paano mamuhay ng enough, what it means to live a parang abundant life is, di ba? At least makakain ng 3 beses sa isang araw. And that is usually with kanin. Kasi kung wala daw kanin, walang energy. Tama ba? Especially sa mga daddies dyan, mga tito, may mga hard work labor na hindi daw nila kaya kapag walang kanin. And meat, karne, in the form of pork or beef, red meat, dapat daw iwasan kasi daw ito ay nakaka-cause ng cancer. If meron kayong kilalang may cancer, for sure, nag-a-avoid na sila ng meat. Or, if you will be objective, kung sa totoo lang, kung titignan nyo, hindi naman siguro talaga ganon karami yung kanilang meat intake. Pero sana galing yung mga idea na ito, why we are following this. And lastly, ang pagkain daw ng taba, yun daw yung rason kung bakit tayo mataas yung cholesterol natin, mataas yung triglycerides, meron tayong fatty liver. But kung meron sa inyo, ang meron fatty liver, merong mataas ang cholesterol, di ba? Hindi na kayo kumakain ng lechon, hindi na kayo kumakain ng mga pinirito, wala ng oil, puro sinabawan na lang. Hindi ba kayo nagtataka kung bakit ang triglycerides ninyo ay mataas pa din? Then maybe baka hindi talaga yung taba yung may kasalanan. And those things are the things that we will address today. So, ginagawa na kasi natin yung lahat. Pero, look where we are now. Saan tayo ngayon? Lifestyle diseases in the form of obesity, yung iba tumataba, yung iba hindi tumataba. Pero, merong bato sa gallbladder, may mataas, merong mga bukol, merong tumor sa mga babae, yung iba, may infertility, nahihirapan makaanak, yung blood pressure mataas, payat nga, pero may diabetes. I'm sure, meron yung mga kilalang ganyan. Meron iba, healthy tingnan, maliit yung braso, maliit yung paa, pero yung tiyan, medyo malaki. Kahit hindi umiinom. So, kung kayo ay mukhang lasinggero, kahit hindi kayo umiinom, bakit kaya ganon? Yung sinasabi mo na hindi ka umiinom, pero wala naniniwala sa inyo kasi mukha nyo pa lang, isang tinig pa lang, lasinggero na. Then we have to check. Tingnan nyo kung ano yung mga kinakain nyo mamaya na baka nandun kung bakit mukhang lasinggero yung tiyan ninyo. And lifestyle diseases, yes, nakakamatay po yung lifestyle disease. Yun yung nakakalungkot. But good news, it is also preventable. Pwede ang ma-prevent. It's just that yung mga preventive measures na akala natin for the longest time ay tamang preventive measures may actually be not the best. That's why yung lifestyle diseases nandyan pa din kahit sinusunod na natin yung usual na popular beliefs na pinag-usapan natin just a while ago. So, we evolved as humans, tayo ay nag-evolve for 250 million years. Yan yung basihan actually ng ating lecture ngayon. Hindi lang yung kung ano yung guidelines ng DOH, hindi lang yung kung ano yung guidelines na sinunod natin noong 1970s. No, yung magbabasihan natin kung ano talaga yung tamang pagkain para sa ating mga tao. It is based on archaeological evidence way back 250 million years ago as humans. And kung titingnan natin, we have to go back sa ating mga ninuno. Hindi yung ninuno na lolo o lola ninyo, not even the lolo and lola ng lolo and lola ninyo, but way back nung unang panahon pa, ng mga tayo ay mga caveman, hunter-gatherers. So, isipin nyo, nung wala pang hotels, wala pang modernization, wala pang farming. Kasi yung farming, 10,000 years ago lang. Before that, millions of years ago, tayo ay mga ngaso. We are hunters and gatherers. Okay? So, over time, if you imagine, kapag ikaw ay gigising sa umaga, you think may pagkain na? Meron na bang mainit na pandesal? Meron na bang cereals that time? Meron na bang ready na mga deliveries early in the morning? In fact, kahit kanin, do you think meron ng kanin sa umaga? Before, wala pa. So actually, when you wake up in the morning, hindi pa tayo nakakakain. Yung mga ninuno natin, they have to travel places. Kailangan pa sila maghanap. Maybe on a good day, pwede silang makakain mga tanghali na. Makakahanap sila ng animal that they can hunt, pwede nilang lutuin. On a good day, kapag sila ay sweswertehin, baka makakain na sila around lunchtime. Lulutuin nila ito and they will share it with the whole tribe. And after that, do you think magtitira sila para bukas? Meron ba silang refrigerator that time? Mode of preservation of food? Wala. So usually, ubusan yan. And after nighttime, do you think sila ay naglalagyan pa? Meron pang midnight snacks? Meron pang mga bonding with food? Actually, wala na. Because noon, kapag gabi na, natatakot na sila sa dilim. There are already dangers in the night, so usually they seek shelter and security. Maybe sa kanilang kuweba or kung saan sila nakatira, but usually hindi na sila kumakain pa at night. So, on a good day, kumakain na sila maybe around midday, mga alas 12, alauna ng hapon, and they will continue to eat before sundown. And that is already on a good day, kapag siniswerte na yan. And how about those days na wala silang mahanap na mahal? Walang pagkain, wala ano yun? We have dito sa Pilipinas, yung wild boar. So, yung baboy that they usually hunt before. Kapag hindi sila siniswerte, pwedeng wala silang makain. Mamamatay ba sila on one day or 2 days na walang makain? Of course not. Because kung namamatay sila noon, supposedly hindi tayo nabubuhay ngayon. So our body actually evolved in such a way na kaya pala natin mabuhay kahit hindi tayo kumakain ng maya-maya. And that is what we are doing now. Nagising sa umaga, meron pang kape muna, tinapay, pagkainit sa tiyan, pero hindi pa breakfast yun, di ba? Kasi maghahanda pa ng kanin at ulam. At yung kanin at ulam, yun yung totoong breakfast. At yan nga, before lunchtime, meron pang morning snacks. Ano ang morning snacks nyo ngayon? Kamusta ang morning snacks? So, iced tea, muffins, dalawang muffins pa. So, and that is in preparation for lunch. And then, meron pang afternoon snacks, dinner, midnight snacks. So, tingnan nyo, if you compare kung paano tayo kumakain ngayon, as compared sa kung ano talaga yung nakasanayan ng biology natin as humans for those millions of years, sobrang layo na. So, moving forward, ang mga kinakain natin ngayon, puro either may mga matatamis or kung hindi may matatamis, puro starch. And also fruits. And ano yung sinisignify ng pagkain nito? Those foods actually signify harvest season. Okay? So, every time we eat anything na hindi proteins na nanggaling kayo, kasi usually yung mga animal meats are proteins and fats. But every time we eat carbohydrates, we eat glucose, we eat, kumakain tayo ng galing sa carbo, it will actually indicate na harvest season tayo. So naturally, kung walang fertilizer, walang mga kahit anong mga pesticides and insecticides, walang farming, ilang beses na bumunga supposedly yung mga pananim in a year. Naturally, at most twice, or maybe just once a year. Once a year lang yung harvest season. So yung katawan actually natin, sanay na merong harvest season or yung intake ng carbohydrates once a year lamang. But since tayo ay kumakain ng kanin, ng prutas, meron pang import-export na kahit pa yung mga prutas na hindi tumutubo dito, kinakain natin, we are sending a signal in our body na nasa harvest season tayo all these times. Kung ano na yung edad nyo ngayon, 30, 40, 50, 60, 5 decades, 6 decades na po na nasa harvest season yung inyong way ng pagkain. And that is something na kailangan natin i-correct. And this is what will happen to our body kapag tayo ay hindi nakakain. Kasi merong usual 4 seasons, diba? Kung sa Pilipinas, kahit 2 seasons na lang, harvest and non-harvest season. So, kung walang makain prutas, kung walang makain mga produce, ano yung kinakain natin? So, usually, pwede tayong mangisda, pwede tayong mangaso, but if hindi successful yung pangangaso natin, what do? Before, we actually fast. Tayo yung nag-aayuno. Way kaon. Okay? So, pwede tayong mabuhay na walay kaon based on this graph. Average person, bisan pa dilitan awang tambok, an average person, average weight, it is said na naay capacity to fast, pwedeng mabuhay ng walang pagkain in as much as 6 weeks. 48 days na kahit walang pagkain, hindi mamamatay. It is because we have fast. And this one, for the record, no food for 382 days. Isang Italian na nag-fasting before. So, yan siya before, and after more than 1 year of no food intake, buhay pa rin siya in a better shape of health. But of course, hindi naman kailangan mag-fasting tayo na hindi talaga tayo kumain, especially that it's Christmas time, di ba? At mamaya, party na. Huwag kayong malungkot. Bukas na tayo magsisimula magpaka-healthy or baka sa January na. So, napa-advance lang yung lecture natin. But don't worry, you can still enjoy the food that you will have later on. What is important is for us to realize na yung katawan talaga natin is not built to eat all the time. It's just that nagkaroon tayo ng maraming sakit ngayon because simply sobra-sobra yung ating pagkain, more than what we need. And if you will reduce down our existence as humans, kung ilalump natin yung millions of years na yun into 1 year, we only started eating rice, nagsimula lang tayo kumain ng kanin, kahapon lamang, only 1 day ago. And we only started using sugar, yung table sugar, just 1 hour ago. So, if we can think of that analogy, makikita natin kung bakit yung katawan natin hindi ganon kasanay. Kung bakit tayo nagkakaroon ng sakit, kahit pa sanay na sanay tayo kumain ng kanin, pero yung ating biology as humans, hindi sanay magproseso ng kanin, ng sugar, day in, day out. And that is why, nung nagsimula yan, so, kahit 2 million years ago, nasanay tayong hindi kumakain ng kanin, hindi kumakain ng sugar, the intake of fruits is only seasonal, and ngayon, that small yellow part, doon na nagsimula ang globalization at doon na rin nagsimula ang lahat ng mga sakit. And the modern day lifestyle, yun na nga, leads to modern day illness. Wala pong mga ngaso, walang caveman na may diabetes noon. So, kung titingnan natin yung mga events sa ating history, noon, namamatay sila sila with infection, with trauma, kapag sila ay nag-aaway-away, or sila ay na-aksidente, pero walang namamatay dahil sobrang taba nila, walang namamatay ng dahil sa heart attack, walang namamatay sa stroke, and it's because all of that nangyari started 50 years ago lamang nung nagsimula tayong mag-adapt ng nutrition na actually against our nature. So, maraming rason kung bakit nagkakaroon ng sakit. We have our lifestyle, and of course, meron din tayong genetic family. So, sino dito yung merong mga pamilya na runs in the family yung diabetes? Meron din yung may high blood. Tapos, sinasabi natin na sa pamilya na kasi namin yan. But sa totoo lang, those illnesses, it runs in the family, not just because of genetics, hindi lang dahil sa genes, but dahil yung pamilya, ano yung pamilya? Pare-pareho yung kinakain. So, syempre, yung nanay na nagluluto, kung ano yung paborito niyang pagkain, yung lutuin niya. Kung ano yung paborito na pagkain ng kanyang asawa, yun yung parati nilang kakainin at pagsasaluhan ng buong pamilya. So, usually, family have the same lifestyle habits. Kaya, nagkakaroon ng pare-parehong sakit. Yung iba, hindi man pareho yung sakit, pero meron pa rin sakit. And yun nga, other than poor lifestyle, kulang ng tulog, sobra sa stress. So yung stress, pwede ma-manage yan. At yung isa sa pinaka-importante dito, yung high glycemic load. Sobrang taas ng sugar na nilalagay natin sa ating katawan. And yan, underneath it all daw is our milk tea, sitting pretty. So yung milk tea, usong-uso na ngayon, and milk tea is a symbol of modern day food na walang nutritional value, pretending to be healthy kasi merong tea, merong milk, but sa totoo lang, it's already made up of chemicals and just lots of sugar. Yan, galing tayo sa ganyan, and we evolved, and eventually, anong nangyari? So, those are the things na kailangan natin mag-correct. Pwede tayong bumalik yan. So, we're going back, yung question niyo, kung tayo ba ay babalik sa pamamaraan ng pamumuhay as hunter and gatherer, pwede rin kaya ba natin maibalik yung health na nawala natin? So ngayon, pag-uusapan natin the science between low-carb and fasting nutrition. So we will just make this quick. Candy, proteins, and fats. So this graph, yung candy is blue. Proteins, example, karne or isda. And then fat, taba. Say for example, avocado or taba ng baka. Those are taba. At yung graph na ito is the impact of those foods on blood sugar. So kapag kayo ay kumain ng candy, instantly, tataas yung blood sugar natin. Kung kakain kayo ng puro karne, yung blood sugar impact, moderate. Kung kakain kayo ng taba, mababa yung violet. Pero usually yung kinakain natin, sabay-sabay. Kumakain kayo ng candy, nag-lechon tayo, and then meron pa tayong dessert. So all of that, sama-sama na. So ano yung impact na sa katawan natin? Actually, sobra-sobra. But I want you to focus yung shape ng spike ng eating a candy. So moving forward, ito is another graph showing ng impact ng glucose burden ng yung itim is glucose, yung pure sugar. Next one are actually fruits. Mango, blackcurrant, merong root crop dito, na beetroot, na parang kamote din, rose hip, and these are all fruits. Kung titignan ninyo, hindi lang po asukal o candy ang nagpapataas ng ating blood sugar. Kahit ang pagkain ng prutas, kahit ang pagkain ng kamote, ay pwede pa rin magkaroon ng blood sugar spike. Another, this one, ganun pa rin. Mataas pa rin yung impact. And that would be, ano yan? Wheat. So wheat bread, tinapay. Yung grain, rice, kanin, corn, mais, oatmeal, barley, and other grains. So if you will see this one, ang impact niya ay halos katulad lang din ng candy. tumataas pa rin yung ating blood sugar. Next slide, please. And yung isang solusyon para mababa yung ating blood sugar is insulin, di ba? Kilala niyo ba yung insulin? Yun yung usual na gamot na binibigay sa mga diabetic. Kasi kapag merong insulin, pinapapasok nito yung blood sugar papasok sa cell. So, bababa yung ating blood sugar. And that sounds like good news. Parang okay yun. Parang kailangan natin ng insulin lahat. However, hindi natin alam yung process pala nito ay merong limit. Next slide, please. Eventually, kapag marami natin pinapataas yung ating blood sugar, nagkakaroon ng insulin resistance. Yung insulin resistance ay sobrang taas na rin yung blood sugar, sobrang taas na rin yung insulin, pero hindi na ito tinatanggap na inyong cells. So, yung mangyayari, magkakaroon ng flooding, pagbabaha ng sugar sa inyong bloodstream, at yung mga organs ninyo na prone to sugar damage ay madedestroy, while at the same time, yung mga organs naman na sensitive to insulin ay magkakaroon ng komplikasyon. So, ano-ano yung komplikasyon nito? Ito ay isa complex image, pero yung titingnan nyo, kapag merong sugar, merong insulin, yan yung effect niya sa ating cells. Merong survival, proliferation, and growth. Kung babasahin nyo yung survival, proliferation, paglaganap, and growth, yung paglaki, it sounds like positive, di ba? May tumutubo, may nagsisurvive. But if you are already an adult, na kung saan tayo lahat ngayon ay adult na, hindi na tayo growing children, saan napupunta yung impact na survival, proliferation, and growth na yun? It can mean na pwede merong mga tumubo na hindi dapat tumubo. And those can reflect tumors and cancers. Kung bakit merong mga bukol-bukol, kung merong mga pagkakaroon ng pag-build up ng taba sa katawan, ng protein sa katawan, kung bakit hindi na kayo nakakita ng as clear as before, yung inyong mental sharpness noon, hindi nyo kailangan ng calculator, ngayon, kailangan na ng calculator. All of those are because of build up ng mga bagay-bagay na nakakasira ng ating organs. So, too much insulin, too much sugar can damage, can affect our body in different forms. Ang pagtaas ng blood sugar, yung mata natin, yung ating kidneys, yung ating blood vessel. Sa merong mga kilalang diabetes, isa sa pinaka-importanting kailangan gawin is to check their feet, yung mga paa nila, kasi hindi na sila nakakaramdam. Puro manhid yung kanilang paa na hindi nila nalalaman na eto pala ay meron ng sugat. And then eventually, what they will see, kailangan nitong putulin kasi may infection na pala. So, all those things, kahit kuko, kahit buhok natin, nasisira if there is inflammation. So, moving forward, please, iba-iba yung impact ng insulin sa katawan. Not because payat ka, ay exempted ka na. Merong mga iba na tinatawag natin non-fat formers. So, hindi man sila tumataba, pero yung impact ng insulin at inflammation sa kanilang katawan, pwede makita as bukol, pwede rin pagtaas ng kanilang blood lipids in the form of triglycerides and LDL, pagtaas ng blood pressure, payat nga, athletic, tumatakbo, pero yung BP mataas pa rin, parating masakit yung joints, may arthritis, even very young pa. Yung mga babae, merong infertility, or lalaki, pwede rin maging like baog, yung isang lalaki because of unhealthy lifestyle, allergies, asthma, naihuba. So, all of those are manifestations, different kinds. So, iba-iba yung impact sa kada tao, but all of those have the same root cause. Pareho yung source, iba-iba yung manifestation. And it's because of that sugar. So, alam natin that blood sugar leads to insulin spike. And I'm sure lahat kayo, you are conscious na hindi na kayo naglalagay ng sobra-sobrang asukal sa inyong pagkain. So, we already know that sugar is bad. But hindi natin alam na tayo pala ay still consuming a lot of sugar hiding in plain sight, hiding in different forms because bread is sugar. Ang tinapay ay sugar pa rin. Rice is sugar. Pasta, noodles is sugar. Fruit is still sugar. Cereals na akala natin healthy, na binibili pa natin sa tindahan para sa inyong mga anak, it is still sugar. So that is why, if you are wondering kung bakit hindi pa rin bumabay ba yung blood sugar kahit hindi na kayo nag-aasukal, try to look at your intake of tinapay. Try to look at your intake of rice. Baka nasobrahan kayo sa prutas. Moving forward, we will show you this picture. Going back, please. So, ano yung tinapay, yung kanin, ano pa yung mga paborito niyong breakfast? So, pwedeng kamote, saging na saba. Tama? So, those are starch. So, eto, parang chain. So, those are starch, complex carbohydrates. At ano yung starch? Starch is chain of glucose. So, kung i-zoom in nyo yan yung makikita nyo, individual glucose molecules or sugar molecules. So, actually, ang starch ay sugar pa rin. Compact na lang. To show more examples, so next slide. So eto, yung mga starchy carbs, so meaning carbohydrate na hindi matamis, pero kapag na-breakdown na ng katawan natin, magiging sugar pa rin. So kanin, most ng mga beans, bread, patatas. Simple sugar, so alam natin matatamis. Honey, table sugar, fruit sugar or fructose galing sa prutas, milk sugar, lactose, yung mga biskwit. Yung mga fruit juice, kahit pa pure fruit juice yan, it is a form of simple sugar. So, in another illustration of molecules, isang ganyan is one sugar, sucrose is sucrose, glucose plus fructose, dalawang kind of simple sugar na pinagkatabi. And kapag pinaglulugtong-lugtong na sila, that will be starch. And kung ihahalin tulad natin yan sa pera, glucose or table sugar, para siyang coins. Diba? Kapag magdadala kayo ng 1,000 pesos in tigpipiso, sobrang bigat, diba? Ramdam na ramdam mo yung bigat. But if you will bring it in paper, like 100 peso bill or 1,000 peso bill, hindi mo ramdam na meron kang dalang ganong pera. But the equivalent is still the same. So pareho lang yung equivalent nun. So, magkakaroon tayo ng little exercise para malaman natin kung gaano karaming sugar yung nakakain natin in a day. 4 grams, 4 na gramo ng carbs, ng carbohydrate, is equal to isang teaspoon, isang kutsarita ng asukal. Okay? Klaro? 1 teaspoon of sugar equivalent per 4 grams of carbs. So, hindi kayo naglagay ng asukal sa inyong kape, hindi kayo naglagay ng asukal sa inyong puto or sa inyong juice, pero yung kinain nyo, 1 cup of rice. Alam nyo ba na ang isang cup of rice ay merong equivalent to 50 grams of glucose, equivalent to 10 teaspoons, 10 kutsarita ng asukal. Kung kayo ay nagtataka kung bakit hindi mo bababa yung inyong blood sugar kahit hindi na kayo kumakain kahit anong tamis, tingnan nyo yung inyong rice intake. Isang cup ng kanin, equivalent to 10 kutsarita ng asukal. Can you imagine, kumain ng 10 kutsarita ng asukal? Ang hirap, di ba? Sobrang tamis, nakakaumay, nakakasuka. Pero, isang cup ng rice, sobrang dali lang yan. 2 cups of rice, kayang-kaya kasi pagod. 3 cups of rice kasi marami pang gagawin later. 3 cups of rice, equivalent to 30 teaspoons of asukal. So, kahit makakain pa kayo ng rice mamaya, kasi masarap yung ulam, okay lang. Pero at least ngayon, alam nyo na. 1 cup of rice, 10 teaspoons of sugar. Next, eliminating simple sugar. Ito yung pinaka-importante. This is the reason why. Kahit hindi nyo pababuhin yung inyong pagkain, at least alam nyo na ngayon na yung pag-eliminate natin ng simple sugar, pag-alis ng asukal, ay hindi ganun kasaka. If you want to really improve your health, especially sa meron na talagang sakit, sa meron ng diabetes, sa meron ng high blood, hindi po enough yung pag-eliminate ng simple sugars. Kailangan i-eliminate din natin muna yung ating starchy foods. Kasi yung starchy foods, is still sugar in compact form para bumaba muna yung ating insulin load sa katawan. Ano ang nangyayari sa extra sugar sa ating katawan kapag nagsusobrahan ito? Nagkakaroon ito ng process na tinatawag nating lipogenesis. Lipo meaning taba, genesis meaning creation. Ang sugar, ang kanin na inyong kinain, kapag nasusobrahan, ay pwedeng maging taba sa loob ng katawan. So, kahit pa hindi kayo kumakain ng ulam na mataba, kahit walang karne, kahit walang mamatikang pagkain, pwede na yung inyong katawan ay magkakaroon pa rin ng fat build-up, especially in the form of fatty liver, triglyceride, elevated bad cholesterol, dahil ang extra sugar ay nagiging taba. They become fat. And high triglycerides, isang form of bad cholesterol, nagkakaroon ng pagtaas despite low fat intake. So, kahit pa nag-a-avoid kayo ng matabang pagkain, kung sobra-sobra yung pagkain ninyo ng anything that you mentioned that are equivalent to sugar, ay tataas pa rin yung inyong triglycerides. And that can already lead to problems ng pagbara ng ugat and complications like heart attack and stroke. So how about fruits? So, lag natin ng fruits, diba? Hindi na ako kumakain ng ice cream, hindi na ako kumakain ng cake, hindi na ako kumakain ng kahit anong matatamis. Fruits na lang kasi natural, kasi God-given. But what is fruit? Fruit is glucose and fructose combined. Okay? One slice of mangga is already equivalent to 2 to 3 teaspoons of white sugar. Isang pisngi lang, isang half, 1/3 slice lang of mangga. Nasa 2 to 3 teaspoons of white sugar na. Equivalent. So next, and it's because fructose, ang glucose po, meron siyang pathway sa ating katawan na magiging fructose. Fructose is a fruit sugar. And fruit sugar or fructose is also one step closer into making triglycerides. Too much intake of fruits, dalawa yung common pathway nito. Kung kayo ay nakakaubos ng isang kilong saging, kung kayo ay nakakaubos ng isang buong durian in one sitting, huwag kayong magtaka kung kayo ay nagkakaroon ng mataas na triglycerides at fatty liver and mataas na uric acid. So, for those who are wondering, hindi na kumakain ng karne, hindi na kumakain ng mani, pero yung uric acid nila, sobrang taas pa din, look at your fruit intake. Baka nasobrahan kayo sa fructose. Because fructose is just one step away sa ating lipogenesis. So, these are the different carbohydrates na merong iba't ibang carbohydrate level. So, grains, rolled oats, oatmeal, nakakala natin very healthy. So, 1 cup of oatmeal, equivalent to 10 kutsaritang asukal. Isang patatas, so maliit na patatas, mas maliit pa sa inyong fist, is already equivalent to about 4 teaspoons of white sugar. So, meron namang mga prutas na tinatawag natin low-carb. So, kakaunti lang lang. So, mga nasa 6 na strawberries is 1 teaspoon of white sugar lamang. So, by guidance, dapat huwag tayo kukonsumo ng sugar more than 10 teaspoons in a day. Okay? Not more than 10 teaspoons in a day. So, kung gusto nyo, pwede naman. But not more than 10 teaspoons. So, depende yan. Paano nyo babudgetin yung inyong sugar in a day? Kung allowed lang kayo ng 10 teaspoons in a day, saan manggagaling yung sugar niyon? Sa prutas ba? Sa kanin ba? Sa tinapay? O pwede rin sa gulay? So, titignan natin what could be your options. So, ano yung gagawin natin? I'm sure, lungkot na kayo, no? Parang wala na kayong makakain. Don't worry, meron pa rin kayong makakain. We just have to lower our sugar load. Kailangan ng pababain yung sugar load natin para mababa yung insulin impact and eventually reverse the inflammation o pamamaga sa ating katawan. So remember, ang impact ng blood sugar, ganun din yung impact ng insulin sa ating katawan. So, carbohydrates, protein, fats, tatlo lang yung major nating macronutrient. Next slide, please. And with that, carbohydrates, kung gusto natin babagain, pasta, grains, tinapay, all of those, lower down. But, ano na lang yung makakain ninyo? So, what you can actually eat are the ones here. Proteins, chicken, manok, isda. Hindi bawal yung baboy, hindi bawal yung karne, hindi bawal yung kambing, kalabaw, all of the meats, kahit red meat pa yan, hindi bawal. As long as wag mo itong kakainin na may kasamang carbohydrates. Nakakain na ba kayo ng steak, ng walang mashed potato, ng walang kanin? Maraming, sa mga kumakain ng pork or lechon, maraming nagsasabi na tumataas daw yung kanilang BP kapag kumain sila ng karne. Kumain sila ng crabs. Pero yung tanong, kailan kayo kumain ng crabs and shrimps nang walang kanin? Usually, when you eat those, may kasamang kanin, may kasamang soft drinks, may kasamang desserts. We are bringing the wrong things. But if we eat proteins and healthy fats alone, na walang kasamang mga carbohydrates na papataas sa insulin natin, we can actually become healthy. So, if we will have the burger analogy, alam natin yung burger in general, kapag sobra-sobra na kinain yun, nakakataba. But alam nyo ba na ang nakakataba dito is hindi yung karne sa loob, hindi rin yung cheese, but it's actually the bread. Kapag kinain nyo ang isang hamburger nang walang tinapay, yung patty niya yon, yung cheese na yon, and the beef, pwede yung ma-burn into energy. Kaya proseso yun ng ating katawan, and hindi ito magiging taba sa katawan natin. But the moment that you eat them together with the bread, sa itaas at sa ibaba, then it will block fat burning. It will just accumulate. So, ibig sabihin, ang ating pagkain na nagsasabay-sabay, yung carbohydrates and proteins and fats, yun yung nakakadulot ng pagkasira ng ating pangangatawan. So, ano yung ating kakainin? This time, we will show you our food list. So, divided yan into safe list, caution list, and danger list. If you eat only the ones in that safe list, and it is a different kind of safe list that you used to see. Kasi noon, as long as it's natural, safe na, usually yung mga karne kailangan i-avoid, but not in our food list. Kung meron yung Facebook, you can search the hashtag GG0 food list para makita ninyo yan. You can download it and print it. So one by one, we will go through them. Safe, caution, and danger. Yung safe list natin, ito yung mababa sa sugar at hindi rin nakakapamaga sa katawan. Yung caution list natin, pwede mataas sa sugar or pwede nakakamaga when taken in excess. So pwede kainin from time to time, pero with caution, hindi yung unlimited. And danger list, ito yung mataas sa sugar at mataas sa inflammatory ingredients, nakakapamaga. So we have to avoid them at all costs. So first, danger list, alam na natin yan, processed foods, soft drinks, fast food, mostly they are the danger list. Kaya hindi na natin kailangan pangbalikan yan because I'm sure you are already avoiding that. But there's a danger list na gusto kong i-emphasize na akala natin ay very healthy at yun yung mga fruit juices. So the fruit juices are actually part of the danger list. Kahit sabihin pa nilang all natural fruits yan, it's because, alam na natin ngayon, that fruits is fructose. And if you eat whole fruit, okay, mas okay pa, especially if you're still healthy. Kasi may fiber pa yan, may vitamins and minerals. But if you extract the juice in there, kinuha mo yung good side of the fruit, which is the fiber. But what you took are just the concentrated form of sugar in the form of fructose. So as much as possible, we have to avoid that one. Soft drinks. So alam na natin, soft drinks and of course, beer. So beer, para sa mga daddy, don't worry. Meron kung kayong pwede painom na hindi danger list. Caution list for special occasions like your Christmas party today. But generally, beer is liquid sugar. It's from malt, maltose. So glucose, fructose, lactose, maltose. Maltose is the sugar coming from beer na kailangan din i-avoid. So next would be our caution list. So you already know kung bakit nasa caution list ng ating fruits. Supposedly we are going to eat fruits only in season. When they are in season in your locality, and even pa in season yan and natural yan at walang pesticides, still in portions, hindi pang unlimited. Noon siguro during the times na wala pang makain, they are eating fruits, but when they eat fruits alone. Hindi yung nagpuprutas ka, maya-maya kakain ka na naman ng bistek, maya-maya kakain ka inom ka ng soft drinks, and kakain ka ng fruits kasi akala mo healthy. Kakain ka na yung merienda, may kanin, may sabaw, may dessert, may cheesecake, may soft drinks, and top-top, kakain ka ng prutas kasi akala mo magiging healthy ka na kasi may fruit na. But no, fruit is just added sugar, especially if you are not eating right. So, it's in caution list, and of course, even the starch. Kilala nila kung ano yung starch, di ba? Complex carbohydrates that is still equivalent to sugar kapag may process na. One experiment, mamaya, dahil alam ko, kakain pa rin kayo ng kanin. Before nyo ito lunukin, nguyain nyo ito ng nguyain, eventually, you will notice na tatamis yung kanin. And it's because yung inyong enzyme sa inyong laway, it will already break down the starch. At mararamdaman nyo na yung tamis. You can see that rice is actually sugar. Root crops, they are the better kind of starch. Pero if you want to reverse your illness, if meron pa kayong sakit ngayon, pwede iwas muna. Don't worry, hindi na magluod ang kamote kung hindi nyo siyang kalimutan kadali. Okay? You can go back to eating that. Later on, maybe kung na-reverse na yung inyong mga sakit. So, root crops. And caution list. So, good news. In special occasions and holidays, pwede na naman uminom. So, these drinks, alcoholic drinks, are what we call as low-carb alcoholic drinks. Mababa yung kanilang carbohydrate. Actually, even up to 0. Yung mga brandy, whiskey, wine, mababa yung kanilang carbohydrates. Although mataas yung kanilang alcohol content. So alcohol is another form of macronutrient na hindi naman siya ganon ka nagpapataas ng inyong blood sugar, pero kung kakainin nyo ito, iinumin nyo ito together with still yung mga carbs natin, then it will just hold on to that glucose and carbohydrates at magiging taba ito. And alcohol can also be converted into triglycerides kasi tumataas. But if hindi kayo umiinom, pero lumalaki yung tiyan nyo, then maybe it is not because of alcohol, but because of too much fructose from fruits or too much glucose na nanggaling sa sugar and other carbohydrates. And good news, meron tayong makakain. Okay? So ano yung makakain natin? Everything that you can see there. So ano yan? So it's actually ulam, sudan. So we don't need to avoid ulam. We don't need to avoid meat. We don't need to avoid eggs, chicken, beef, shrimp. All of those we can eat. We can enjoy them. If you are on a diet, at you are on a low-carb diet, walang makakapansin that you are on a diet. Because pwede nung punuin yung inyong plato ng puro ulam lamang as long as wala itong kanin. So, you can actually enjoy a feast. Pwede magkaroon ng lechon manok, beef, lechon baka. All of those you can enjoy as long as walang carbohydrates. So, all of these are natural foods. Ito yung kinain natin as hunter-gatherers. Ito yung kinain natin as mga ngaso. But, as mga ngaso na hindi farmer, walang kanin, walang tinapay, walang mga prutas. So, these are our staples. So, general low-carb guide, isipin natin, okay lang kumain ng karne, ng taba, as long as wala itong too much carbohydrate na kasama. Okay? So, hindi naman lahat kailangan talaga super strict low-carb. I'm sure marami na nandito. I can see some of you looking really fit. Baka nag-gym, or nagbabike, or nag-jogging every day. Maybe you are quite healthy. So, meron tayong 5 kinds of low-carb level. So, level 1, if you are healthy, walang kahit anong sakit, very healthy genes, nag-exercise, at nagpa-fasting, so at least 12 hours, hindi nag-midnight snacks, maybe you can accommodate up to 50 grams or even up to 2 cups of rice in a day. So okay lang. Pero yun lang. Wala nang others. If you eat 2 cups of rice, wala nang ice cream, wala nang cake. If you eat cake, baka tikim lang. Then if you are healthy, young, walang sakit, you can have that. However, if meron kayong predisposition, merong mga family history na prone to diabetes, baka kailangan nyo mag-cut down on the danger list. Focus on the safe list lamang, at kung kakain mo kayo ng portion list, at least yung mga medyo natural na portion list. Yung low-carb na natural portion list. Pwede kumain ng prutas paminsan-minsan, pwede rin kumain ng rice paminsan-minsan, huwag lang sobra-sobra. However, if meron ng mga iniinom na gamot, just like yung nakasama namin sa restaurant kahapon, nagko-compare na sila ng kanilang iniinom na gamot na para sa high blood, na nalaman nila mamaya na nagkukos din ng pagtaas ng kanilang uric acid, and then yung gamot na yun nakaka-complicate din at nagkakaroon din ng problem sa related sa other part ng kanilang katawan. So, sobrang dami nila iniinom na gamot, then maybe you have to stick to level 4 and level 5 safe list lang na pagkain para gumaling muna tayo. We have to make our body experience non-harvest season. Kasi yung level 1, 2, at yung mga wala sa low carb talaga, they are perpetually nasa harvest season. So, hindi makalabas yung katawan natin because supposedly, yung harvest season, kumakain kayo ng prutas, di ba? And fruits can lead into fat build-up. Yung fat na yun, actually, kailangan sana natin yun for survival. Kapag tayo ay walang kakain on other days of the year. So, dapat, meron ka pares na yung harvest season, may fasting season. Meron panahon na hindi sobrang dami yung kinakain para maggamit yung taba na naimbak for it to be used and utilized. However, hindi na yun nararamdaman ng ating katawan because nag-iimbak na lang tayo, nag-iimbak, at hindi na nga tayo nakawala sa harvest season na yun, leading to many of our illness today. So, kung meron na kayong mga iniinom na gamot, marami ng sakit, then you have to really go on the stricter form of cleaner eating. So, all natural food, but mostly proteins and fats. At kung gusto naman, kung ayaw puro ulam lamang, ulam at gulay. If you have to start your way of eating, kapag merong binigay na pagkain sa inyo, tanungin nyo lang yung sarili, ulam o gulay. Kapag hindi siya pasok sa ulam at gulay, then hindi nyo muna kailangan kainin yan if ever you still need to work on your health improvement. So, 2 ways para magbaba ang ating insulin is eat low carb. Kumain ng mga pagkain low carb, and this is how low carb look. So, di ba, sabi natin, up to 10 teaspoons of sugar in a day. So, 20 grams, 40 grams. So, these are illustrations, sample, kung paano, ano ang mukha ng 20 grams na pagkain. So, you can have 2 plates of these in a day as your carbohydrate allowance, and then yung ulam, and then agad yung ulam. So, kung pipiliin yung kainin ay tinapay, so isang slice lang ng tinapay, 20 grams na yan. Kung pipiliin nyo ay kanin, ay half cup na kanin lang yan. If pipiliin nyo ay patatas, may liit na patatas lang. And if you will choose pasta, kakaunti lang din. So, kung titignan nyo dito, hindi siya nakakabusog, di ba? Konting-konti yan. But if you want something filling na parang mabubusog talaga kayo, these are also 20 grams of carbs. So, eto yung sinasabi natin. Pwede nyo maggulay. So, kaya nyo ba ubusin yan in one sitting? Isang plato niyan? Sobrang hirap, di ba? And remember, pwede nyo itong kainin with manok, with isda, with itlog, at hindi lang isang itlog. We don't actually limit eggs. Isang itlog lang in a day. Me, on average, I eat 6 eggs in a day, 4 to 6 eggs in a day. And it's okay as long as walang kasamang too much carbohydrate. So, these are different plates. Low carb plate, high carb plate, non-carbohydrates. So, another one is to incorporate fasting. So, I think meron ng iba sa inyo na gumagawa na ng intermittent fasting. So intermittent fasting is hahatingin natin sa ang araw into eating window and non-eating window. As a starter, kahit 12 hours lamang. Start with your dinner. Anong oras kayo nag-dinner? Ano yung pinaka-last meal nyo? If your last intake is like 7 in the evening, alas 7 ng gabi, then by 7 in the morning, pwede na kayo mag-breakfast. So that's minimum of 12 hours. And in between, pwede mo inom ng tubig. Pwede mo inom ng tsaa. Early morning, kung gusto nyo i-extend yung inyong fasting, pwede uminom ng kape. Pero walang asukal. Okay? So all of those you can eat and drink as long as pwede ka kumain during your eating window. So for those na medyo marami pang nakatagong nakaimbak na fats na pwede pang mag-fasting ng mas matagal, you can fast for 14 hours, 16 hours, 18 hours, even 20 hours. So imagine nyo yung time ng hunter-gatherer, di ba? On a good day, nakakakain sila ng nasa 12 noon na. And before sundown, bago gumiling, tapos na silang kumain. So that's actually 18-6 schedule. 18 hours of fasting from 6 p.m. until 12 noon. Isang pwede nyo gawin, especially if you're working sa munisipyo, magpakabisi kayo early in the morning, huwag kayong matakot na malipasan kayo ng gutom. Kayang-kaya nyo yan. Tubig at asin lamang. We are not afraid of salt. Ang asin po ay very essential sa ating katawan. Kailangan natin yan. But intake of salt is also should not be paired with high sugar intake. So salt and sugar, deadly. Fat and sugar, deadly. Protein and sugar, deadly. But protein, fats, salt alone, they are healthy. So incorporate fasting, and we can now move on. In 14 days, baka meron sa inyong gustong magsimula. So you don't need to believe me, but maybe meron tayong ibang followers dito na nakita ninyo na biglang sumexy, biglang naging healthy, then you can try to do this also. Experiment lang. If nasubukan nyo na lahat ng health tips noon, pero hindi pa rin ito effective, maybe this one can be the answer. So 14-day jumpstart sa simula, hindi nyo kailangan pwersahin yung fasting. Kung hindi pa kayo ready na mag-give up ng dinner or breakfast, then you can eat 3 times a day, even 5 times a day kung gusto niyo. As long as yung kakainin niyo ay meat and proteins lamang. So these are the steps that you can do. Eat proteins and fats for breakfast. So this is a typical breakfast plate. So isang silog. So what you can eat the meat, you can eat the eggs, pero walang kanin. Walang atsara. Kasi yung atsara sweeten. But if meron kang atsara na hindi sweeten, okay lang. So again, another plate. Adobo, merong barbecue, pero may kanin, may pansit, pwede kumain ng adobo, pwede kumain ng barbecue, wala lang munang kanin. Wala lang munang pansit. Kung kakain ng lumpia, wala lang munang wrapper. Alam niyo ba na isang wrapper ng lumpia is equivalent to 3 teaspoons of asukal? Isang lumpia, 3 teaspoons of asukal. So, nasa sa inyo na yan. And of course, chicken adobo, na toppings, kainin yung toppings lamang. Iwan nyo na yung kanin. So these are the samples that you can do for your breakfast. So stick to the same list sa mga pagkain mababa sa sugar at mababa na sa mga ingredients na nakakapamaga ang katawan. And number 2, kung gutom pa kayo, then you can add vegetables at the end of a meal. So unahin nyo muna yung ulam. Unahin nyo yung ulam, and then after kung gutom pa, then you can add the vegetables at the end of each meal. And again, after, kung meron kayong nararamdaman na paghihina, merong sumasakit yung ulo, yung nanginginig, yung umiinit yung ulo, kasi hindi pa sila sanay sa low-carb, just take salt and water. Every time na meron kayong nararamdaman na parang feeling nyo na hypoglycemic kayo, most likely hindi yan totoo, unless of course, umiinom kayo ng gamot para sa diabetes. But if you are not taking medications for diabetes, at nagkakaroon kayo ng symptoms na parang hypoglycemia, most likely kulang na kayo ng asin. So take salt and water, give it 5 minutes, mostly mawawala yan. Number 4, we have manage stress. Of course, kailangan manage Kapag meron kayong stress, gawin niyo ang lahat para mawala yung stress na yun. Kung wala kayong magagawa sa stress na yun, so iba-ibayan niyo na sa Diyos. So yun na. Do something about it if you can do something about it. But if you can't do anything about it, so give it to God. Leave it to God. Have faith, pray, at wala na tayong magagawa. Tulog mo na. So manage stress accordingly, okay? Number 5, pwede kayong mag-exercise only when tolerated. Pero good news, sa mga hindi pa nag-exercise, hindi rin ito kailangan muna sa simula. Okay? Focus on your food intake. Our health is 80 to 90% related to our food intake. Nasa pagkain natin, nasa plato natin. Ang exercise daw, dapat hindi punishment. Kasi yung iba, dahil kumain sila ng sweets, kumain sila ng desserts, they will punish themselves. Mag-exercise sila. Ang exercise dapat hindi yan punishment. It is said dapat ito ay celebration of what your body can do. So kung kaya mo mag-exercise, then that is a celebration na kaya-kaya pa ng katawan mo. So do it when tolerated. And lastly, number 6, we have, of course, make sure na kung iba man yung night shift, baka meron dito na hindi daytime yung trabaho, yung importante, tapusin yung pagkain ninyo 4 to 6 hours before bedtime, regardless ng oras kayo natutulog. Okay? Even if kakain kayo ng breakfast sa umaga, kahit hindi pa kayo mag-intermittent fasting, it's okay. Pero try to sleep na hindi puno yung tiyan ninyo. Sobrang daming komplikasyon if you will sleep on a full stomach. So dapat 4 to 6 hours before sleeping, tapos na kayong kumain. And to add to that, yung water intake, hindi rin dapat ganun kadami. 1 to 2 hours before you're sleeping, huwag na kayong uminom pa ng maraming tubig. Tendency would be, gigising kayo in the middle of the night, masisira yung tulog ninyo, masisira yung circadian rhythm na related din sa ating health, iinom na naman kayo ng tubig, at mamaya-maya gigising na naman kayo, so it's not going to be helpful. Kailangan din magpahinga ng ating kidneys. So, when you are resting, when you are sleeping, kapag tayo ay kailangan na matulog, wala na tayong pinaglalaban, hindi na tayo tumatakbo sa ating kama, so kailangan magpapahinga na rin yung kidneys natin. So, try to finish your 8 glasses of water during daytime, when you are most active. Hindi kailangan inumin bago matulog, especially while sleeping. So, we go back to our healthy beliefs na ngayon, i-improve na natin. Okay? So again, hindi kailangan early morning yung breakfast. But kumain kayo when you are nutritionally hungry. At alam niyo na ngayon kung ano yung pwede niyong kainin at ano yung kailangan niyong avoid. Next would be fruits, pwede kainin, but taken with caution at hindi po unlimited. Okay? In portions, whatever. Next, ang salt ay hindi kailangan iwasan. In fact, marami mong sakit na related to low salt intake. Kung meron kayong kilalang merong hypertension, imagine, sinasabihan sila na bawal yung salt, pero binibigyan sila ng supplement na gamot na sodium bicarbonate, which is still salt. So, that is just another form of salt na binibenta nga lang. Whereas the real salt, na very cheap, very affordable, widely available, yun yung pinaka-iniwasan na kailangan natin as long as we also avoid sugar. So salt is essential, sugar is not. And ang rice and other starch, kailangan natin i-minimize din, especially if gusto natin ma-reverse muna yung mga sakit sa ating katawan na dulot ng too much sugar. And meat, ang karne po, are natural foods of our body as humans. Meron siyang essential nutrients and healthy fats and proteins na kailangan natin i-consume regularly at hindi iwasan regularly. And lastly, of course, we have the fats. Na fats are actually healthy. They are good for our heart. Hindi siya nakakabara ng ating puso as long as wala itong kasamang inflammatory foods like yung mga sugar and oil. And one thing, if kayo ay bumibili ng cooking oil sa inyong bahay, please huwag kayong bumili ng canola oil or vegetable oil or seed oils. Bilhin lang coconut oil. Okay? Coconut oil oil is the healthiest oil. Huwag kayong matakot na yung coconut na tumitigas sa malamig. It will not happen inside your body. Kasi yung katawan natin is warm. And it is going to be metabolized. Metabolize yan ng ating katawan at hindi yan nakakabara ng ating puso. It is the seed oils, margarine, ay nakakabara ng puso. So kahit mas mura yung margarine, pero iwasan niyo po yung margarine. If you want margarine light, buy butter, real butter. At yung butter na meron mong extra na pangalan, butterlicious, buttermilk, butter egg, lahat na merong continuation, hindi totoong butter yan. That is just margarine na marketed as parang butter. Real butter is just butter, simply butter. So that is healthier as compared to margarine. And low carb now is becoming mainstream. Kahit pa marami sa atin dito ngayon pala nakarinig yung low carb, but dumadami na po yung low carb, and that's why I'm very happy na you invited us to share our knowledge on low carb para lahat talaga tayo maging healthy. Sabi niya ni Ma'am, for us to be productive. Kasi kung hindi tayo healthy, parati tayong absent at yung trabaho natin maapektuhan. And you as the key people in your municipality, in the bayan of Pikit, yun ay maapektuhan din if the people handling the government is also not healthy. But I will show you that low carb is now mainstream. So last October yan, we have the National Low Carb Day. At yun po ay pinuntahan ng more than 1,000 people all over Philippines. So nangyari yan in Alabang. At yan, sobrang dami. That's the first and the biggest event in nutrition na face-to-face na naganap last October 2, 2022. So that is us in the stage. And eto, the next slide please, would be the people who joined that activity. So dumadami na po yung low carb at hindi lang po mga kababaihan, mga lalaki, hindi lang po weight loss, but also muscle gain, especially sa mga lalaki, kahit seniors. Okay, so those are the women in our low carb community. Sobrang dami na po ng improve. So that's it. That's a wrap for today. I'm Dr. Josephine Grace Rojalan, at kung meron kayong mga questions, how to correct this one, kung meron mga anything that confuses you, you are very much welcome to ask them. So maraming salamat po, and happy lunchtime, and don't worry, bukas na magsisimula ang inyong low carb nutrition. Enjoy the muffin na on average siguro nasa per muffin, siguro mga nasa 10 teaspoons of white sugar lang naman. Yung iced tea, mga 5 teaspoons of white sugar lang naman. Kaya nyo yan. But that is our gift for you today. I think your team leaders really want you to be healthy. And I hope you appreciate their effort to give you this information. Kasi I just feel so bad. Nalulungkot ako before working in a government hospital na maraming mga nanay na galing sa bukid, dumarating, merong mga bukol, may cancer, may tumor, at sinasabi, Dok, hindi naman ako kumakain ng karne. Umiiwas ako sa karne. Panay gulay lang yung kinakain ko. Bakit meron pa rin akong sakit? At sabi ko sa kanya, anong kasama ng gulay mo na? May kanin ba o wala? Ah, syempre naman, Dok. Minsan nga walang gulay, kanin lang. So, all of those ideas, we don't have to blame anyone. Wala tayong sisisihin kasi those are just passed on over the years ng knowledge. But now, alam niyo na ngayon. So, kung kayo ay kain man ng mga pagkain na lang natin, makakadulot ng sakit sa atin, at least hindi na kayo magugulat. Alam niyo na kung bakit kayo nagkasakit. So, I just wanted to be empowered to own your health at kayo mismo ang nabigyan in command kung ano yung magiging future ninyo at alam niyo that your future will also be the future of your family and your work and everyone else. So maraming salamat po. Have a good day everyone. Thank you.
Alright, thank you so much, Dr. Josephine Grace Rojalan. We are actually reminded of being healthy for our total health and wellness. But before that, before we're gonna let Dr. take her seat, we would like to entertain some questions to Dora for the information everyone. So you are free to ask. You are free to make some inquiries for your daughter, your concerns, especially those who are having their maintenance na right now. So any questions po? You can directly ask your daughter for your concern. Yes, the daughter is raising her hand. Our municipal health officer, madam.
Good morning po, Dora. I-clarify ko yung po regarding sa safe foods, di ba, for meat, fish, egg, yung paano po siya natutok the right way.
Hello, Doc. Thank you so much po. So, the simplest way of cooking them the better. Nilaga, kinilaw, sugbang. If you will fry it, pwede yung dito. But just use coconut oil or any natural oil, lard or kabaring baboy or tanol, kabaring baka. So all of those are okay. So part na natin simple is hindi lang siya puro meat and seafoods and eggs, also vegetables and also condiments. So salt, pepper, basic lamang, try to avoid yung mga sarap, yung mga seasoning, the more natural the better. Thank you, Dr.
Alright, thank you so much. Before I will proceed to the next question from our audience, we would like to acknowledge, of course, the presence of the Sangguniang Bayan members who are with us today. We have Honorable Dr. Tudno Sr. Good morning, sir. And we also have Honorable Mama Jigong. Good morning, sir. Alright, any question? I'm gonna go to the last table. So mukhang mahaba-habang usapan ito. We would like to acknowledge also Honorable J. Managsakan. Alright, some more inquiries or questions? Kanay na yung mga ginabati iha sa mga Narda, Ma'am Narda. Kanang mga ganapan tumulo, ma'am, isa na kung may maanak, kwarta. Yes po. So natin mga pangatanas, atong mga gentleman dali po. Sige po. May mga nararamdaman po ba tayo sa puso, sir?
Ayaw po. Ang tatanong ko lang po, ma'am, is katulad namin mga Muslim, malapit ng Ramadan, ano ba yung dapat namin kainin sa kailangan alas 3 ng madaling araw? Doon pa kami kakain sa alas 6 ng hapon. So ano ba yung dapat, baga sa aming Muslim is buka ang tawag doon sa alas 6. Ano ba yung dapat namin ibuka na makakabuti sa aming katawan? Yun lang po, salamat.
Thank you, sir. So that is a very, very valid question. Actually, ang benefits ng fasting, isa sa mga scientific evidence nito ay ginawa on Muslim doing 14 hours of Ramadan each day. And in 1 month nga, nakita nila na gumanda yung kanilang health status because fasting, hindi lang po yan sa Muslim, even Catholics at lahat ng religion, it is a practice. Kaya nga lang, we always associate fasting as spiritual practice. When in fact, fasting is really cleansing, not just spiritual cleansing, but also physical and medical cleansing. Nakakalinis po talaga ang katawan yan, and that is really good. It's just that buka, it's open, di ba? Parang pagbukas, open. So, it is also very important na the benefits of fasting, ng pag-aayuno, is best maximize kung tama yung tawag natin pagkain na kinakain natin. So that's actually the essence of breakfast, breaking the fast. So hindi siya kailangan early in the morning. In Muslim, during Ramadan, right after sundown, tama po ba? Na doon na kayo pwede kumain. But importante, when you do fasting, alam nyo na during that time, pinaka-sensitive actually natin yung ating katawan sa insulin. Pinapababa natin yung ating katawan sa insulin and sugar. However, if you will eat sugar right away after fasting, yung katawan ninyo sobrang sensitive pa at yung impact niyan ay sobrang laki. Kaya marami na nagpa-fasting nga, pero at the end, parang hindi pa rin nag-improve. It's because they are breaking their fast the wrong way. So, stick on the safest din. Hindi naman bawal yung itlog. Hindi naman bawal yung isda. Okay? Seafoods. Manok. So, karne.
all of those you can eat during your breakfast, your breaking your fast. So, the longer you fast, mas matagal yung fasting ninyo, dapat mas slow yung breakfast protocol ninyo. So, start with soup. Kung pwede, vegetable soup or bone broth. Vegetables are also okay, but try to avoid bread. Try to avoid fruits na sobrang matatamis. Try to avoid rice. If I think at one point na subukan nyo na after fasting, you ate maybe candy or something very sugary, at dun pa kayo nahimatay. Merong mga incidents of after breakfast, dun pa sila hinimatay na matapos lang kumain. Bakit? It's because of the insulin spike. For the time that you are fasting, sobrang baba ng insulin, and then kumain kayo ng matamis. So, say for example, candy. Nag-shoot up yung insulin ninyo at biglang bumaba yung inyong blood sugar even lower before kayo kumain. So, it's the sudden na pagtaas ng insulin na magkakaroon din ng sudden drop ng inyong blood sugar. Kaya maraming nagtataka na kung kailan sila kumain, dun pa sila hinimatay. And it's because of that too much sugar. So try to avoid na kumain ng sobrang tamis and also even starch na sa iyong first meal after your fasting on that day. So prepare your soup. Pwede bone broth na soup or vegetable soup. And then after 1 hour, pwede po after 20 minutes, pwede na kumain ng itlog. And then after another 20 minutes, kumain na ng inyong regular meal. That is better.
Alright, thank you so much, Dr. You were actually well informed for that learning because every time we take the class, that class, we actually fantasize on eating those sweet desserts at 6. So we still have one question here, our SP Secretary, Sir Jaime Gordes.
Thank you, ma'am. Doc, good morning. Magandang tanghali po sa lahat sa inyo po, Doc. Thank you for the very informative presentation. I just want to be clarified about no calories, like equal stevia, yung inimig sa kape. Is it advisable for those who are experiencing high sugar in their body, and how may I know the frequency of having it, yung tinitimpla sa kape? Kasi for me, I am using no calories, pero malakas ako magkape. So may I know the frequency of mixing no calories in my coffee? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So, mga no-calorie or low-calorie na sweeteners, yun na yung alternatives natin sa sugar. So, marami yan. Merong stevia, merong mga sucrose, merong sucralose, marami siyang klase. So, nasa caution list sila. If we have our safe, caution, and danger, nasa caution list sila. Because yes, hindi man sila nakakapagpataas ng ating blood sugar na the way the general sugar will affect our blood sugar. Pero based on studies, yung epekto po ng mga alternative sweeteners na ito ay nasa ating utak. So the more we consume them, the more we crave them. And sometimes, when you consume them, kapag parating ninyo silang kinukonsumo, hahanap-hanapin nyo sila. And sometimes, it will lead into unhealthy eating habits. Hindi ka na nagkasukal, but later on, you will feel na nag-crave ka ng kung ano-ano mga ibang pagkain. And sometimes, that is in totality, mas nagiging unhealthy ka pa. But if you think you can stick to general low-carb or safest natin, pero yun lang yung only sweeteners mo, you can take that, but you have to be mindful. Again, if it's in our caution list, you can take them, but with caution. Try to listen to your body, and as to how much, you can only answer that as to how much you can tolerate. Kasi wala naman silang impact sa blood sugar and inflammation general. Pero yung impact nga is nasa ating utak. Hindi kakatapos mo palang uminom, later on, nag-iisip ka na kailan ka na makakainom ulit. So, it's already addicting. So, it's gonna lead to an addictive behavior. One common is the Coke Zero or yung mga zero-calorie na soft drinks. And then sometimes, yung problem na, just because it's zero calorie, sobrang dami yung tinitake natin na yes, wala nga silang sugar, but they are also loaded with other chemicals. So yun ay another na naman na problem sa ating katawan. So you can take them, yes, they are better as compared to real sugar, pero you have to be very cautious when you take them. So yun lang po, and for those alternative sweeteners, tingnan nyo yung ingredients kasi marami dyan na it's still maltose or sucrose, it's still sugar in different forms. And hindi man sila nakakataas ng blood sugar kasi mababa yung kanilang glucose, pero ba't mataas sila sa fructose, which is equally damaging. So, apat yung common sweeteners that are somewhat safer as compared to others. So, allulose, monk fruit, erythritol, stevia. So, yung apat na po. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctora. Alright, some more questions from the audience before we really proceed to the next part of our program. Tanong po, dito banda. How about from the Office of the General Services? Healthy na daw po sila. Alright, so no more questions. So I'll be the one to throw the last question to you. I'm just curious for the program because I'm not that so equipped in terms of this concern. If a person has too much or having too high sugar, does it affect the proper functioning of the faculties of the brain?
Yes, of course. Type 1 diabetes, yun yung sabi natin inborn or congenital or childhood onset diabetes. Type 2 is yun yung later in life na. We have now an emerging study na tinatawag type 3 diabetes. And it's diabetes in the brain. Alzheimer's disease. So, dementia. So, maybe meron kayong family, mga lolo-lola na 100 na yung edad. You can say, nabuhay pa naman sila kahit kumakain sila ng kanin, kumakain sila ng tinapay. But try to look at their quality of life. Kamusta yung kanilang memory. So, one of the longest living people in the world, isa dyan yung sa Spain. Matataas yung kanilang lifespan. And they're eating also a lot of grains and rice. Doon natin naman ngayon. Pero their incidence of Alzheimer's disease, of dementia, is also very, very high. So, when you do low carb, isa actually yan sa mga number one na nakikitang benefit ng karamihan, and that is removal of brain fog, clarity of head. So, kung kayo ay narong problema, naroon kayong stresses, malay nyo, the moment you do low carb, your brain will clear out at yung solusyon will just be laid down in front of you in an instant. Parang alam mo na yung gagawin. Mood swings, anxiety, yung pagkakaroon ng moody behavior, parating umiinit yung ulo, look at your sugar intake. It's maybe the sugar addicted brain that's doing all of those damages. For those of you na recently diagnosed with diabetes, you can see na noon mas pasensyoso kayo. Pero nung kayo ay diagnosed na with diabetes, you were becoming impatient. And sometimes nga sa mga families living with diabetes, alam na nila na maininin yung ulo yung kanilang tatay, nanay, at tinatanggap na lang yun. But it's actually the sugar craving brain ang gumagawa nun. So yes, sugar, removing of sugar in the body can be beneficial for us. At yung karamihan, akala natin hindi tayo mabubuhay na walang sugar, but actually our brain is not glucose okay. Ibig sabihin, kaya na mabuhay na hindi lang glucose yung kanilang source of energy. In fact, studies show na feeding on other source of sugar, other source of energy, which is fatty acids and ketones, yun yung energy na nanggaling sa taba, is much more efficient for our brain. In other studies na meron mga brain tumors, that is where the benefit of ketogenic diet, a very high-fat diet, na kapag yung tao ay kumakain ng puro taba lang, and that is the sole na energy source for the brain, merong nakikitang shrinkage, lumiliit yung tumor when it's no longer fed, because sugar, glucose, is the most favorite number one food of the tumors and cancers. But if you remove the sugar, pwedeng magbutong yung cancer tumor, pero yung normal sa katawan natin, kayang-kayang mabuhay using fats and proteins as source of energy. So, thank you so much.
Alright, thank you so much. So, kanang mga kamandahan, again na opportunity because every consultation po counts actually. So, ano na nag-exam. I'm sorry for taking this portion long, but I still want to learn more. We still have some questions here, so we're gonna throw the next question to, the next question is referred by our municipal budget officer, the person of Mansalia SNO.
Good morning, Doc. Concerned lang po ako, Doc, because I'm a diabetic patient. Question ko lang is a diabetic patient allowed sa, siyempre, pagwapa, okay lang ba, Doc? Pilihan, pagmutanan ako para sa tanan na ako ba yung paulaw na pagmutanan. Pwede ba sila sa rhinoplasty? Pwede ba sila sa stem cell, sa glota, or whatever ito?
Yes, so of course, but like rhinoplasty, those are the surgeries that I do. Pwede. But healing, remember, healing and at any form and surgery is an injury, okay? So healing is best aided kapag yung sugar natin is normal. So that's why if you have to undergo any procedure, kailangan control muna yung sugar. And for others, marami pang iba na nagpapalipo, na marami mga procedures na actually, if you just correct your food intake, many of those procedures, hindi nyo na kailangan. Even yung gluten na nakakaputi, if kayo before ay maputi at biglang namitin yung batok, yung tuhod, yung siko, those can be a sign of insulin resistance. So, hindi po yan dumi. Yung sobrang grabe na yung pagbaba, describe ninyo, hindi pa rin pumuputi, those might be a sign of insulin resistance. Okay? So, but if you lower down your insulin resistance, naturally makikita ninyo na yung skin ninyo, it will glow. But when it comes to enhancement, beautification, there's no contraindication po. But again, the reflection of your good health can be from the inside going up. Lalabas at lalabas naman. So I hope as much as we take care of our outside appearance, we also make sure na yung ating inside na health ay well taken care of. So thank you po ma'am for that.
Alright, thank you so much. Now we can proceed to the next concern. We have Ma'am Jen Borno. Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Ma'am, normal po ba mag-elevate ang uric acid kapag nag-start ka na ng keto?
Okay. So, for others, there is this transient na elevation of uric acid. So, tumataas yung kanilang uric acid when they start doing low carb, especially ng mostly karne. But, yung makikita ninyo, tumataas yung uric acid, pero hindi sumasakit yung tuhod, hindi nabubuo as uric acid stone. It's because yung complications of high uric acid is together with inflammation. But uric acid alone na mataas, without inflammation, it's not a cause of worry. And it is usually transient. After a while, mag-normalize na yan. But that can be avoided if kapag nag-start kayo ng low carb, you make sure na tama yung inyong salt and potassium intake. So sodium and potassium intake. The moment na mataas yung inyong sodium and potassium intake, usually yung uric acid it will still also be normalized. Thank you po. Naka-low carb ka naman. Congrats!
Sana po. Alright, so may mga tanong pa po ba, mga sirs? Yes po, we have from our Municipal Planning and Development Officer, Engineer National Discipline.
Good afternoon po. I'm just curious, ma'am, how about for those people na mababa ang sugar? So, ano po ang advisable na food intake na dapat?
Okay. So, gaano kababa ang sugar and paano ito nakita? If it's just in FBS, fasting blood sugar, yes, that may be a lower sugar, but hindi yan basihan ng inyong standard na sugar level in the body. Ang fasting blood sugar is just your blood sugar after fasting. Pero kung ano yung average blood sugar level ninyo, it may be high. So, say for example, kumain kayo ng candy and maraming sugar like sweets, but after that you fast, nag-ayuno kayo. After that one, if you are still insulin sensitive, hindi nyo pa talaga nasagad yung inyong health na maximum health na status na tolerance, pwedeng mababa yung inyong blood sugar. But when it comes to mababa, as long as it's within 70 to 100, then it's optimum. It's okay. Hindi nyo kailangan kumain pa ng sugar. Because sugar, yung tinawag natin glucose, is not essential. Ibig sabihin not essential, hindi natin kailangan kainin from outside sources because yung katawan natin, meron yung capacity to create sugar in order to maintain that glucose. So, di ba, yung 50 grams of carbohydrates or glucose allowance natin in a day, it can even be as low as 0. Pwede kayong hindi kumain ng sugar at all, still, yung blood sugar can remain normal kasi meron tayong process na gluconeogenesis. Ito yung capacity ng katawan natin na gumawa ng glucose coming from proteins and coming from triglycerides. So it can be broken down at gagawa siya ng glucose sa mga 30% of our glucose needs in a day if ever you will do low-carb, and the rest of the 70% na pangangailangan natin energy can be supplied by fats and proteins. So, walang kailangan, it doesn't need to be na kailangan yung habulin ito. Sometimes, yung paghahabol sa pagpapataas ng blood sugar, yun yung nakakatulog ng more problems. And if you will want to check your real blood sugar control, try to get HbA1c, yung glycated hemoglobin, and not the FBS. Kasi yung FBS is just your blood sugar after fasting, but yung HbA1c is the average blood sugar that you have for the last 3 months. So, hindi yan masyadong nadadaya. Mahirap lang dayain. But FBS alone, sobrang daling dayain yan. You know, nakukuha kayo ng para sa inyong annual physical exam, annual test, and then mag-diet kayo today para bukas maganda yung resulta ng inyong sugar level. But it may not be the real story. Baka meron talagang problem on sugar load na hindi na nakikita.
Alright, thank you so much. In this juncture, we would like to acknowledge that in the presence of one of our Assembly and Body members, we have Honorable Alex Verenda. Good afternoon, Madam. Good afternoon, sir. Alright, some more questions, some more concerns, interests, issues. Alright. So sige, another question po, Doctora. In a condition where a person has inflammation on his or her knees and she or he could hardly walk, is there any food restrictions for such person?
Mostly yung mga arthritis, yung mga inflammation is related talaga to sugar and inflammatory load. So, as an experiment, try lang. Remove everything on the caution and danger list. Kung kaya mag-fasting, instantly, pain will be gone. In an instant, mawawala yan. In just a matter of 24 hours, it will become more tolerable. And if ever hindi kaya ng fasting, say for example, payat na, wala nang extra fats to lose, then pwede kumain. But try to do low-carb. Try to do full carnivore. Puro karne lang. Itlog, karne, seafoods, and they can see na it will actually improve. But of course, other reasons, kung merong fracture, baka kailangan talaga ng medical na intervention. But generally, it's just inflammation. Kailangan lang talaga ng breaking. Our joints are one of the most common na tumatanggap ng inflammation ng pamamaga sa ating katawan. So it's not just about old age. Hindi na yan sa pagiging katanda sa ating edad. Because, say, for example, my mom, who is in there, she's already 67 years old. Nagsimula kami mag-low carb 4 years ago. Bago kami mag-low carb, hindi na siya nakakatayo ng siya lang. Kailangan na rin assistance. Kasi sobrang sakit na ng kanyang katawan. Hindi na siya basta-basta nakakatayo. But now, at the age of 67, nag-pull ups, nag-push up, nag-yoga, yun. So it's not just about the age, but it's your health. So pwede yung marites.
Thank you so much, Doctora. One more question po. They actually requested me to hear this question. Simply ask that. Is the substitution of this corn, rice, good as a parang to substitute that yung ordinary rice natin?
If you will remember our slide a while ago, di ba, yung blood sugar spike, halos pareho lang. Wheat, rice, corn, oats. So, all of those grains. So, meron yung numbering. So, for example, kung ang white rice ay nasa 70, yung brown rice nasa 68. So, 2 points lang. Yung corn, baka nasa 66, 65. So, kakaunti lang. And what's funny, yung nakakatuwa about all of these parang alternatives, no? Especially yung mga red rice, black rice, just because akala natin na mas healthy sila,
Kung white rice yung kakainin mo, baka nag-half rice ka lang. Pero dahil brown rice yung kinain mo or corn rice yung kinain mo, nakala mo healthy, ay naka 3 cups ka na. So, at the end of it all, mas marami pa pala yung kinain mo.
Alright, sige po, I believe that was enough. So we will now proceed to the awarding of Alright, so before we're going to award the tribute to our guest, a resource speaker for this activity, we would like to hear, of course, courtesy of our honorable mayor, Sultan. We have our ABC president and at the same time the member of the Assembly of Bayan, Honorable Dr. Sultan Sr. to give us a closing message. How about a big hand of applause?
Thank you. Hindi ko na paamayin, kailangan gutom na kayo. To our speaker, Dr. Ma'am, sa aming doktora po, si Dr. Osok. Sa lahat po ng mga empleyado po ng Pikit na nandito ngayon, at lahat po na nandito ngayon, hindi ko na kayo isa-isay. Pero isa-isay ko itong mga kasamaan ko sa Sangguniang Bayan. Kay mamaya pupukin nila ako. Honorable Mama Kongkong, Honorable Alec Dalada, Honorable Derek Mangatakan, at saka yung manugang ko si Honorable Alda Mangatakan na ayaw ko pumasok na pero nandiyan daw kanina. Sa lahat po ninyo, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Sa ngalan po ng ating puting mayor, pinapaabot po niya sa inyo lahat ang lubos na pasasalamat niya sa lahat po na nandito ngayon araw na ito. At huwag kayong mag-alala daw, darating din siya mamaya. At sa ating puting treasurer pala, hindi ko binati, nandiyan ang Rizky natin mamaya. So, yun lang po ang mensahe ko. Sana sa lahat ng pagkakataon, tayo po ay magkaisa. Kahit anong mangyari, tayo pa rin magkakasama. Kaya maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat.
Alright, thank you so much, Honorable Dr. Sultan Sr. And this time, thanks for being standing with us, Dr. because we would like to invite at this juncture for the other members in attendance of this Sangguniang Bayan. We have Honorable Mama Kongkong, Honorable Alice Dalada, Honorable Jerry Mangasaka to please be the members of the awarding body as we award the two people for our resource speaker and for the documentation of info. Sige po, mabilis na lang po. Kasi the lunch is about to serve. Ayan. And on behalf of the local government unit of the municipality of Pikit, province of Cotabato, we would like to express our humble gratitude to Madam Dr. Josephine Grace Rojotan, rhinoplasty facial surgeon, also known as Diet Doctora, a health advocate for sharing her expertise in the field of health and total wellness sa ating pong lahat. And we do hope that from this day forward, all the constituents serving the local government unit of Pikit shall be serving a health in a sound body, mind, and soul from this day forward. Have a big hand of applause for ourselves.
Before I go, pinitigasan niyo po. Okay na po ba? Thank you for everyone. Very healthy 2023 ahead. So, 2023 na pa rin magsimula. Enjoy po na the holidays. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and Happy Holidays po sa lahat. Thank you so much.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that ends the first part of our activity for today, the 22nd of December 2022. the lunch has already been prepared, of course, so might as well. We would like to request one to lead us a prayer.